Yeah, thanks. It was a good spring. I was very encouraged. We really had a pretty good off season. Really went fairly late, wrapping up with our spring game just this past Saturday. So we just felt the need to have a big winter. Felt like we needed to get a lot bigger and stronger, put on some weight. So we had a long off season. Felt like we improved through the winter. Like I said, getting more physical. Carried that into the spring, and overall pleased with the spring. Happy to get through it without any major injuries. We got a few guys banged up, like most people, but expect everybody to be back full strength when we start in August. So offensively, I felt like we are improving. I think the big thing is our quarterback play. I feel like, we've been more consistent with our quarterback play throughout this spring, more accurate. I think the guys have improved, and, of course, we brought on the addition of Drew Barker at midterm, and he helped as well. With staying on that note, throwing and catching the ball, I feel like our wideouts got better. We had a few guys that were banged up, and that hurt us a little bit with Javis Blue being out the entire spring, and Jeff Badette being out half of it, and Timmons was a little bit banged up as well. Overall, I feel like we're improving there, and obviously also Alex Montgomery was out the entire spring. So from that standpoint, it was frustrating at times just not having enough depth, but I did feel like we got better just making the routine plays and just simple throwing and catching. I think we're much more efficient than we were a year ago, so pleased with that. Defensively, I think we're continuing to get more depth and zero in on exactly what we want to do schematically. So overall, very good spring, very pleased, and I feel like we're making progress. We have a long way to go, but I like the direction we're headed.
Thanks, Coach. We will take the first question from Larry Vaught.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. Two
Good
things
morning.
for you. Mm-hmm. One, you hinted Saturday after you and Neil reviewed quarterback that you might make a statement about the quarterback this week. So just wondering if there was any update. And then two, could you talk a little bit about, has there been any feedback yet from spring game attendance from recruits, anything similar to like what you had last year?
Yeah, with the quarterback situation, we're not ready at this point in time for me to release any starter or anything like that. I feel like, just like I've said, really throughout the spring, I feel like we're improved at that position, and I feel like we're improved around them. As you saw, I think we're, ran the ball more effectively in the spring game. I feel like we have some guys that a little bit more pop that can make people miss in our run game, and improving in the receiver position as well, which obviously is going to make the quarterbacks look a little bit better. I felt like Patrick really did some really good things throughout the spring, played well in the spring game, but I was also pleased with the other two. So I'm not quite ready to name a starter. We feel very good about where we're at. We feel like we're improving at that position. And with the attendance and the impact of the spring game and all the excitement surrounding that game, it helped again. I'm not sure yet if it'll have the impact that it did with recruiting as it did a year ago, but very excited and very much appreciate the great support we get here at Kentucky.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question from Kyle Tucker of the Louisville Courier-Journal.
Mark, we talked a ton about all as a lot of the spring and especially on Saturday, but what stood out to you on your side of the ball on defense during the spring, and where do you expect to be significantly improved on that side of the ball?
Well, I think we've been for us maybe not where we need to be at a high SEC level, but we felt like we've been fairly decent at the defensive line position. I feel like we're going to continue to grow in that area, which is very important to me. With Bud and Darius both coming back and a year older and more experienced and better leadership, I feel very good about them. And I feel very good about the guys behind them, with Jason Hatcher really playing well and being in a starter in certain packages we run. Feeling like Jason's really improving, and also Farrington, at the other DN, very consistent and playing well. we need to continue to bring some guys along inside. Mike Douglas gives us everything he's got. He's a little undersized, but plays extremely hard, and very pleased with the progress of Reggie Ment. With them, and then along with Melvin Lewis and Corey Johnson, we feel like we're starting to get the depth we need inside there. The secondary was a big concern of mine. I feel like we're getting better. We missed Nate most of the spring, which is going to hurt his development. He needed that work. But the addition of A.J. Stamps, he helped us fill a need with an athletic safety, a guy that can come down and play some man and be versatile. So very, very pleased with the addition of A.J. coming in at mid-year as a junior college player. So overall, I feel like we're improving. Linebacker, as you know, is a big question mark. With Trayvon being out all spring, that set back his development because he's a little bit of a hybrid as well, playing D-end and linebacker. But Trayvon, he needed that work, so we missed him in the spring. He got some work towards the end of spring, which helped him a little bit. But I thought Josh Forrest is really coming along. He's an athletic guy. Gives us a really good height in there that we like. He's very long. He's a very athletic guy. He could run. We just need to continue his progress playing linebacker, and also with Khalid, at linebacker. We just need to get some more depth there and continue to grow. But overall, we're working there. We're working in that direction.
Thanks, Mark.
You got it.
Next question is from David Pascal of the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Coach, I know you said you're not ready to announce anything on the quarterbacks, but I've read about Patrick and Drew, and I was just wondering what kind of spring Reese Phillips from here had.
Yeah, Reese really did a good job again. I think Reese is a guy that the coaches and our players have a lot of confidence in, and that's a great compliment. He's a guy that we feel he's always very steady. He at times, throughout this spring, was the guy that was most consistent and would move the team the best. So he seems to do some very good things and has a good command of the offense. So Reese is still very much in the hunt, and I really like the way he's playing. He's a great kid, and he's got a bright future.
And then the second part, with the SEC announcing its scheduling the other day, was Alabama, Tennessee, and Auburn, Georgia are kind of the more popular or more well-known cross-divisional rivalries. But your rivalry with Mississippi State, is that something you fought for? Did you want the 6-1-1 and to maintain the rivalry with Mississippi State?
That really, the traditions of this league go a lot deeper than myself. I've only been here 1 year, so I really let that up to the leadership of our school to make the best decision with having the most information in the history of this league, and with them having a better understanding of the other people as well within this league. So I really let that up to our athletic director and president to do what they felt was right for both for the league and for Kentucky.
Thank you.
So it really didn't matter to me, to be honest with you.